community. What does this mean? A village, a street, a town, location? Or is it somewhere a group of people live, work and play, have ideas, friendships, activities, gossip, love, hate? A true community surely encompasses all of these concepts. As a child, I lived in several small communities in the middle of England, within a 5-mile radius of each other. They were so much the same that it would have been hard for strangers to differentiate between them. But they were all warm, welcoming, and very nosy. In later life, I moved to a different country, Wales, but still found the community here that I am in now just the same, warm, welcoming, and very nosy.
Today I heard the inner voice that dwells inside my head. Though it spoke so calm and quiet, I heard every word it said. Gentle as a summer breeze that whispers in the trees, melodious as a blackbird singing joyful melodies. And as it spoke, I felt a glow that nothing can extinguish. The blessed peace kind words evoke. It was as though an angel spoke. If I had known a lifetime ago that such a voice existed, so many hardships I'd have overcome and countless mistakes resisted. So, if you feel you're out of control or your world has tipped off kilter, stop and listen to your inner voice, for it will give you hope. Hope is what you're left with when you feel you've lost your way, when you've been robbed of the perfect future you'd planned to share one day. Hope is full of promise, pure as a newborn baby's breath, untarnished by life's trials, bringing with happiness. Hope is the sturdy lifeboat when your ship is sinking fast, the arms that lift and hold you close when you grieve for the ones you've lost. Hope is the spur that drives you on when your heart is rent in two, the silver lining behind the darkest cloud, when the skies above are no longer blue. Hope is the salve that soothes the pain, gently heals the scars hidden deep inside. And when you're cold or alone and afraid in the night, hope is the light that shines.
It woke me like a crack of thunder in the middle of the night, the realization of here we go again. But this time it's different. How, you might ask? We know so much more. We know to connect. We know to get talking, and we know to keep talking. We know to enjoy the little things. We know to reach out, reach out. Reach out when you are low. Reach out when you feel kind. Reach out and tell your story, because your story is important, and you are important.
And they all lived happily ever after, said every fairy tale book. Triumph comes to all who experience wicked stepmothers, poisoned apples, witches that offer candy, dwarves who try to steal your treasures, avoiding giants in the clouds, and wolves that threaten your innocence. But it doesn't prevent struggles and triumph. This is a real fairy tale, where struggles come in your triumph and have no choice but to brandish your sword and defend your honour.
I remember back then in 1979, just before I was 10, it was the school disco, and I wanted to look pretty good back then. But my mum, she had different ideas, and she put me in thick blue cord dungarees before my years. They're hard wearing from Marks, I heard her say. I looked at myself, and there I was, Andy Pandy, ready to play. Ever since that moment in time, I pledged to myself that my clothes choices would be mine, the choice of myself with no parent in sight. So my goal was to be different and as colourful as I could be. The flamboyant and clashing was what I wanted to see. Carnaby Street was the best place to be. For fashion, for out there, I was a new romantic, you see. Adamant and Spandau Ballet I wanted to be. The pedal pushers, the frilly shirts, the stripes, the hats, the long socks up to the knees. Then Wham came along and the fluorescents you could see. Leg warmers, fingerless gloves, terraline socks and bright blue snoods that come just below the eyes so that you could see. My mum said, "You look like Aveline, from that TV programme Bread." I had one pink, one mauve stocking on each leg. The earrings got bigger and bolder and dangled right down. With my satin and laces, I would buy from a shop called Smile in town. But then I was a casual, all sportswear I would don, the Farrahs, the trainers, teabag shirts I would put on. But my pride and joy was a patch leather jacket I bought for 35 quid from Romford Market. You see, my fashion has changed and moved along through the years. I never really cared about what people thought. I had no fears of what I looked like, whether it be good or bad. I wanted to be me and to wear the world in its colours, to be my choice of clothes and not my mother's. The scent of Christmas can be many things, the happy memories that will come to us. The crispy morning frost will freshen up the day, and all the golden leaves on the pathway they will lay. The pine needles on the tree amidst that lovely scent of woodlands green, of walks in the park where we have been. The clean, slick wrapping paper with its labels and its bows, under the Christmas tree with fairy lights it glows. Hot, crispy roast potatoes, carrots and sprouts, not forgetting the roast parsnips with gravy oozing out. Over the Yorkshire puddings and meat or the nut roast, we all raise our glasses to give a hearty toast. The Christmas pudding would then be lit and presented after dinner. Mixed fruit and brandy aroma fills the air. It really is a winner. Or maybe sherry trifle all filled with fruit and jelly. The custard is the best bit, though, enough to fill your belly. The after eights with dark chocolate filled with minty cream. An after-dinner aperitif, a Harvey's Bristol cream. Not forgetting that mysterious Irish coffee, how to get the cream to float on top, and serve with a hot, tasty mince pie that really tops the lot. Thinking of all the food that I could eat on Christmas Day, the cold meats and the pickles with hot, fresh, crusty bread, just an evening snack. Oh, I think that's enough for now. Oh no, there's nuts to crack. Maybe I'll leave that till tomorrow. Yes, I think I've had enough for today. I will save my belly from popping and start again on Boxing Day.
I'm 6 years old, looking in shoes end for some new shoes with my mum and sisters. As I look at the dreary colours and boring styles, I notice something out the corner of my eye. Could it be? It is, my dream shoes. Covered in glitter and shades of pink, they glistened and shined on the shelf. They were everything I'd ever wanted. If I had these shoes, I'd be the talk of the town. I'd be just like Barbie. I begged my mum to get them. She said no. I had to get a pair of plain, brown, ugly boy shoes. As I walked out of the shop, I held in tears, saddened by the loss of the shoes I never got. All I had was a memory, the memory of my dream shoes.
Being here now, a ripped out woman of kindness. Value for money, is she? Faces, phone rings, the sun is blocked out, bobby blinds, papers stacked, nail polish chipped, rejected funding applications, a ripped out woman of kindness, that she is. The 90s, roller discos in my bowers, Reet Petite blasting through the ghetto box, ripped jeans, DMs and Grolsch bottle tops, insecurity, perm, mousse and super hold L-net. I thought about Miss Sinnott. She was ace and the coolest teacher of them all. She got me an A. Miss Sinnott, thank you for my A. That defo changed my way. Pink pen, orange pen, a glass half full, faces of 10, a card of kindness from a soul sister, lists, lists, faces without a twist. The future is now. Friends, family, reaching out to my community. Find my tribe, the future is now. Buy as many shoes, wear a bikini, hug and smile. The future is now. Don't please, don't react, act. The future is now.
Jack Frost comes to paint the town. It is enough to make you frown. The air takes on a mighty chill, which does not give you a thrill. A winter coat will make you warmer. It can be quite a performer, for it protects your body from the cold, so that you can venture out and be bold. Raindrops are a prelude to a storm. Its wet sheets want you to conform. Nature drinks in the water. You must use your own supporter. A Macintosh has a material to shield, so you do not need to yield. Let the moisture clear the air to bring a new dawn with a flare. Tell me about your tables. No, not four-legged furniture you've labeled. Do you know how your numbers grow when you multiply with a flow? It may not be obvious when at school, but one day you'll realize it's cool. You'll be one step ahead to knock a deal on the head. Whether measuring or counting, your spending power will be mounting. However, the greatest riches you will get is the knowledge you will not forget. For one of the main basics of life is the ability to know what is right. Learn as much as you can, for your future will unfold in that plan. Homework has a hidden purpose. When revealed, will be joyous. You will realize the answer in knowing that school is your life enhancer. Mark my words with care, for the future has a way of making you be aware that without reading, writing, and arithmetic, what you want in life will not be automatic. So when you allocate time for play, learn first so it doesn't get in the way. If I had learned all this when young, who knows where I would have sprung.
Hello, Mum. I miss you. You're not dead. I was just misused and had to leave 11 years ago. I jumped and climbed the assault course to your love and still no sight of it. I begged and pleaded, I nodded and smiled. I kicked off and ripped you apart verbally, and then I took the emotional battering, the blame, and all the bitter jealous lies. I just wanted to be near you, Mum. I just wanted a hug. Hiya, Mum. Does your t-shirt by your belly still get wet when you do the dishes? I was thinking of that today while I did mine in work. I wish I could have had a hug or one of those motherly kisses right on my forehead. It all just seems weird and so far away from our normal, which is distant, cold, and mostly non-existent. Hey, Mum, I guess you know now. You've heard my side of the story. I guess I didn't paint you as the hero, and you didn't get all your glory. That's why you've stopped liking pictures and messaging me sporadically. You never used to wish me happy birthday. Only the last few years you've done one here and there. Maybe I should have tried harder, but I've always thought that since I was small. Maybe it's who you picked for my father. Maybe it's not that at all. Maybe I could have behaved better. Or maybe I could have swallowed a paedophile spit more gracefully. Maybe if I shut my mouth and got on with it, you would have loved me. I miss you, Mum. I miss the idea of a mother I have. Someone who cares and can give you good advice. Someone who's there, whether you're ill or got head lice. It'd just be nice. If you cared, it'd just be nice. Hi, Mum. I've stopped calling, but I guess that's my fault.
July 1948, the NHS was formed to serve the public, to help us all, meeting the needs of our community that will be free at the point of delivery. based on clinical need and not a person's ability. 2020 has changed us all. With this coronavirus, together we have shone. Heart and soul have brought our community, like all the staff have always believed. We give the highest standards of care, you see. It's taken until now to be appreciated by you and by me. Tysil Eye Unit is where we are from. You come to see us when your eyes go wrong. Nurses will treat you with utmost respect, using their knowledge, skills and experience you won't regret. Our ward clerks will greet you with a welcoming smile, ensuring you get your appointments on time. Ophthalmology is a specialist field. We are always here when you're in need. It's 6 a.m. My alarm goes off. What? Stop. It's still dark outside, but my mind's not. The birds are singing. To eat to who? The stars are still shining, their bright light. The moon is full, such a delight. The surroundings are quiet and so peaceful, the perfect time to shine. Pick up your pen and paper and write the magical rhyme. Visualize, imagine, focus your minds. You can ask your angels, you can ask your guides. Follow the path to the great divine. What day is it? I often ask. The clock is ticking. It's the magic of time. Words float on the page like the second hand. The sky's the limit for you and for me. Speak your mind. It's free, you see. Face your fears and embrace each other's energy. This winter is stunning. It's a glittering time, brightly lit like your imagination and your mind's eye. It's a full circle we've lost in time.
No one seems to notice the old man sitting on a bench listening to the Salvation Army band playing carols. People are too busy finishing their last-minute shopping, hoping for the odd bargain. They would return home to their family and friends, wrap gifts to go under the Christmas tree, fill stockings for their children. Even old Rudolph would be left a treat. The old man contemplates the huge Christmas tree in the square. A young boy is delivering newspapers. He calls out to him to ask if he knows of a place where he could stay the night. The boy says people don't want to take in strangers at Christmas, but he thinks number 10 across the square does B&B. A woman answers the door in worn slippers, her hair in pink rollers. She eyes the man suspiciously, arms folded across her ample chest. Yes, can I help you? The old man fingers his beard and apologizes for his scruffy appearance. I've travelled a long way and I'm looking for a room for the night. The woman almost spits her reply. Sorry, I don't take no foreigners. He doesn't argue and blesses her as she slams the door. That night he lies down on the bench and watches a great star rise in the east. Pealing of church bells the following morning stirs the old man. He sees the newspaper boy riding a new bicycle and gets up with great difficulty to speak to him. The boy recognizes the old man and is shocked to see him so cold in his thin robes. Come home with me for Christmas dinner. Ma'am is cooking a turkey. And you are a kind boy. Tell them I came on my birthday. Then, as the first snowflakes began to fall, the old man drifted away, merging with the whiteness.
My old blue water bottle, forever faithful, forever true. You can cuddle it, crush it, drag it about. It never answers back, doesn't complain, whine or shout. I use it in all weather, autumn, winter, summer, spring. It's not about the seasons, it's the reassurance it does bring. It surrounds me with a viral warmth that spreads across my whole being. Seems like its hug is worldly wise and definitely all-seeing. Easing aches, pains, ligament strains, life strains, sorrows too. It's all about the warmth it gives when you're feeling blue. It's covered in a soft bag of sorts that protects the skin from burn. It still allows the feeling through, the easement that I yearn. It nurtures in its sense of space. Its promise is its willing, expecting nothing in return except the occasional filling. My old blue water bottle will soothe you, groove you, be content in your embrace, lay quietly beside you in bare minimum of space. My old blue water bottle is dependable, loyal too. It's never ever grey and seldom aught but blue. There's no emotional baggage, hang-ups or bad intent. Unique and unparalleled, a rubber bottle, heaven sent. There's a certain kind of magic between me and my old blue. Omnipotent on a pedestal, forever faithful, forever true. Occasionally it burns and squirms like all blue bloods do, but remaining forever faithful in its bluest shade and hue.
A wisp of rose flushes the uniform grey sky as dawn gradually stakes its claim to night's rain-sodden canopy. Warmth creeps in steadily on a light breeze as the clouds melt in readiness for a shaft of bright sunlight. I scavenge memories for stories. In the telling, I become a fulcrum where the past illuminates an accelerated, unfolding future. The pungent smell of silage drifts over clipped hedges from the field below, where eager cattle hungrily gather to feed. A sudden sharp squall mists the valley as momentarily in the far distance beyond the town, the sea shines golden. With a single squawk, a crow launches off the towering walls of ancient lime kilns, whose silent moors line the road. Morning mists smudge the distant landscape that stretches seaward, beyond the guardian castle walls and over the sleeping town. Confined by a neatly cropped hedgerow tangle of holly, hazel, hawthorn, a sheep lifts its head, watching as I pass. Resolve dissipates, meandering thoughts eddy in the backwaters of monotony, lost in whirlpools of transient emotions, swallowing time and vitality. A blinding sun closes the dull day, silhouettes bare branches and casts long shadows as it slips from the sky. Birdsong chimes icy air. The sun, hidden from the road, spills over the hill onto hoar-frost white fields below. A far corner of the frozen field is flooded with early morning sunlight. Sheep gather to enjoy its meagre warmth. Exquisite green shoes, sleek soft leather, blunt square toes, neat flourishing bow, giddy kitten heels, signalling a transition from childhood. Rainwater collects in ruts and furrows in soft brown earth, reflecting the sky like veins of silver running through bedrock. Sunset's spectacular palette blazes, shaming the valley's quiet fields to darkness, whilst a fine filigree of trees adorns the skyline.
If ever there was a tomorrow when we are not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But most important thing is, even if we're apart, I will always be with you. So that's from the immortal words of Piglet to Pooh Bear, which I thought was rather apt to share today.
Which just proves that Winnie the Pooh is not just for children, isn't it?
Oh, he's not for children, he's for me as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because a small bear who captured the hearts of adults and children alike.
That's right. Yes, that's right. And I think I think the words we need to take from Pooh Bear today, myself.
What day is it tomorrow? One down lockdown. We binged on Tiger Kings and Tiger Bread so long that I lost time down the back of the sofa, along with the TV remote. The sky has either been black or blue, never grey or white. And now it could be yesterday, or it could be Christmas Eve. Well, I've lost the ability to communicate face to face. Is it possible that I'll find an unwatched episode of Friends? Maybe this was all a dream. I've forgotten why we closed the door. It's been so long and it's been too strange. We zoom through blank, soulless streets with Zen tube trips of streamed yoga bombs. We reconnect lost sparks through worn-down lockdown boredom, germinating seeds of hope on our windowsills the whole world over, while the hopeless truth is that these plants will be the only thing that in the universe bearing fruit. As our joints rust and our eyes dim to the sight of the sun, another day turns into another month and another week ends where the last one started. In the sequel to this story, we find our way through a strange new, brave new world, revisiting golden arches now used to house the homeless. Our dreams on pause so long the tape was stretched, scratched and warped memories of the future we had. We'd forgotten the lives we were going to live. But of course the algorithm will reset and the consumer cogs will hoist the pulley that lifts us to resurrection, and we'll go back to 9 to 5s and soulless lives, closer together but 2 feet apart. 6 feet apart.
Slow, steady waves or rapid, large and powerful. The waves we create can be questions, worries, tears or healing. They're waves we make for others and waves we have of our own. They move and change like the ocean itself, deep blue or shallow and clear. We must crash to rise within our world of waves, making waves slow but steady.
How can there be so many tunes when we have so very few notes? So many choices for various awards, garnering millions of votes. The variety of lyrics is astounding from an alphabet of just 26. Music for people to dance to try out their kicks and their flicks. Magnificent music can make many humans cry, and there are so many songs that elicit a deep sigh. Music that comes with words or with none. Sometimes pure melody sets a day like the sun. The rhythm, the resonance stirs something inside, makes me sway back and forth, just like the tide. My feet move and tap to resonant sounds. Latin works for me, then my hips know no bounds. To many tunes, I simply can't not sing along. Unless opera or rap, for me, they're generally not my song. Lip syncing sometimes, but mainly belting them out. It comes from within, of that there's no doubt. Some songs make my face dance with delight, while others bring melancholy and hints of dark nights. A plethora of genre, there's so much choice. I'd still sing in my head if I didn't have a voice. They invoke memories of joy, sadness, and tears, and my body just moves when the right song appears. Some beats and styles, though, leave me stone cold. They don't touch me anywhere if the truth were told. But those very same tunes ignite others' hearts. There's something for everyone that reaches all parts. My favourite songs? Have you got all day? And night? And next week? There's too many to say. I like variety, a mix of so many different types. And I'm not influenced by media, trendy fashions or hype. My body tells me what I like, and I'm sure yours does too. I can't fail to be moved by music. How about you? A pigeon with no manners just dropped in for his tea. He had no invitation, well, none that I could see. But he couldn't sup from the china cup, so a slurp from the saucer it had to be.
Very quiet, really, for a Saturday. Just the old couple come in to visit relations, who took the double room above the yard, and were both in bed by 9:30. Left me with that other one, the stranger, sat like he was set till doomsday at the corner of the bar, sipping small beer, dead slow, and keeping mum. Those beady tax collector's eyes of his on my reflection in the glass behind the bar, watching me. And when he did get round to saying something, his talk was like those lines of gossamer that fishermen send whispering across the water to lure and hook unwary fish. Not my type. And anyway, I'd been on the go since 5. Deadbeat I was. Some of us have a bed to go to, I thought to myself, I just wanted to call time. When the knock came at the door, at first I was for turning them away. We only have 2 rooms, see, and both of them were taken. But something desperate in the woman's eyes made me think again, and I told them they could rough it in the barn, if they didn't mind the cows and mules for company. I know. Soft, that's me. I yawned, locked up, turned out the lights, rinsed my hands to loose the smaller beer, went up to bed. A day like any other. That's how it was. Nothing much ever happens here at the Bethlehem Arms.